And I'm like, and then it disappeared over there by the desk. And I'm like, okay. So I looked at the camera. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna calm down. So I wanted to tell the camera, y'all see that shit? Y'all saw that shit, right? I'm telling CHA, did y'all see that? Okay.
Rose knows.
Unless you sound like old dirty ass motherfucker.
Ro shit hit different.
Ro take a long time, man. I hate these artistic dudes.
He's coming.
Yeah, what's Ro? Come on, Ro.
I know they mad. They can't stop. Number one soundtrack in America. Black on. Even the number one movie for making records. Making the whole wow. VHS soundtrack. I told y'all in the movie. I told y'all I'm gonna show y'all how to clean your dirty money up with good money. Invest into yourself. You heard me? My partner gave me 50.
This is the I'm Kinda Famous podcast. I'm your host, Lester Rowe. New week, new episode 93 of the I'm Kinda Famous podcast. KINDA Famous Pod, POD, on Facebook or .com. KindaFamousPod.com is the official website. Kinda Famous Pod on Facebook. And come visit me on Ro is Famous on Twitter. We have a motherfucking chit chat. I've been on there doing my fucking thing. So is Facebook too. Or Ro knows on Instagram. Look, get your clean ass PB collector. Arrowfilms.com/buy now. Get your people collector plus cosmic culture. Either one. One is about the zodiacs and that whole cosmic life, astrological life for people who, you know, sun signs, moon signs, stars, that whole thing. And people collector, man, it's just vicious. It's raw shit. It's real shit. Check me out over there. And grab those. Let's see. So this week, a little different. Anything else? GroundUpICT.com. You know what that is. If you're a new listener, go to another episode. You'll figure out what some of that is. Or you can just go check the shit out. GroundUpICT.com. Kinda Famous Pod on Facebook. Bro is Famous. And all that other shit that I said just a minute ago. Look, this episode, a little different. This is just an intro. So, during episode 82, me and Zio from the Zio and Rome podcast got together. And we was just, I forgot what we was talking about that episode. Because, we're 93 episodes in, people. We're 93 episodes in. I can't remember every episode. So whatever we talked about on episode 82, I think we talked about Jesse. I don't remember. Go check it out. But we got into conspiracies. Zio is very big on conspiracies. So am I. I like a little conspiracy. I like a little X-File. Aliens. Who shot who? Maybe this ain't quite what it is. Type shit. And so is she. She's a little deeper than I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. But here in a second, we're gonna transition. I'm gonna take you over to that episode because the reason why is because I thought that week that I was gonna do a bonus episode, then I had got busy and I said, well, let me keep this episode in the tuck. Right now, I'm busy. So I don't have a lot of time to really dig deep into this thing. I'm working on some special things that I really can't wait to get out there to the people. Let me see. Mother's Day is coming up. I got an episode before Mother's Day, I think. Yeah. So I want to talk about Mother's Day. Hey, Game of Thrones. Shit was lit. Shit was hard. If you missed it, really, if you missed Game of Thrones, if you missed this last episode of Game of Thrones, we need to evaluate. We really need to think about some things. Because this is one of those things everybody watched it together. So nobody really, you don't really miss what just happened with Games of Thrones, episode 3. It was good. It was epic as fuck. The longest, I didn't know it was the longest, but the longest fight scene, and this is why it's the longest fight scene. Motherfucking episode was goddamn, let me think. That episode was damn near whole movie, 90 minutes. Fucking fight battle scene for 90 minutes. For me as a filmmaker, this was a beautiful feat. It was a beautiful thing to watch. It was great. There were some people who was upset about certain things, but as y'all know, I'm not really a Game of Thrones fan. I watched season 1 and season 2, skipped everything in between, got right to the good shit at the end of the season, and I'm locked in. I'm tapped in like a motherfucker. I'm not going backwards. I don't even care how we got here. For real. So, but these 3 episodes been legit. especially the last one. I don't know where this shit is going because this was like a big moment. It was a big moment from what I can tell. And this is kind of like cutting out a very big storyline very early into the end of the season. So I can't wait to see what happens there. So chime in with me, man. I go on Rose Famous on Twitter. I be in there live tweeting this shit with the culture. This is the first time I ever really did something with the culture. Like I'm a part of it while it's happening. Other shit I typically a DVR because I don't really like I be having other shit to do, you know, but this is the first time like I'm watching it with the people. I'm enjoying myself. People crazy Twitter shit, having fun. Shouts out to my boy Tom Zilla, man, from DSR Dirty South Riders, man, from Dallas rap group. He was in that thing. Just everybody, man. It was a good one. It was a good one. I still haven't watched Avengers yet. I will watch it. I decided I'll watch it. What else happened? Before we kick over to that thing, man, I'm gonna get some shit. So before I record it, I got apparently I had to prove my residency at my own goddamn home. I had to prove my residency at my own home. Now let me tell you something, people. I live in what some would consider a white neighborhood, white side of town. A lot of white in my complex, not very much color. And so I remember there was a time where I had this one neighbor. She lived the building over. Every time I went to, because the way I got to go through these breezeway, I go through a breezeway that goes to another apartment building, and I go through that breezeway and I go to the dumpster. Almost every single time I go drop some trash off, I come back later, come outside. Can I help you with anything? Nope. Cause I'm so used to it. Nope. Okay. Are you visiting someone? Do you live here? Every fucking time. And I always say, yep, I live right there. I point to the building cause she can see my fucking balcony from her apartment. She can see my fucking balcony from her apartment. So I always end up pointing, live right there. She probably had Alzheimer's. Real old lady. So at first, I was tripping. Now it's just funny. It was funny. She moved out or she passed on. I don't know. She ain't here no more. I don't know if, she's no longer here as a residency or she's no longer here in spirit. I have no idea. But she's gone. So, come home. Sitting in the parking lot. I like the people watch. I live by a beautiful trail and a great little pond, lake type deal. So when I park, I just sit in the car, catch a breeze, look at people, watch people jog, watch them walk, watch people play with their dolls, do all kind of shit. This particular day, I'm sitting in my fucking car, texting. I don't know. I think I'm on the gram. I'm flipping through the gram, flipping through the book, checking some stocks and shit. I'm just chilling, minding my own goddamn business. Now, as I'm parked, I see the man in the Range Rover detailing the outside of his car. None of my goddamn business. Because our people watch, I see him. Wiping shit down. He in his trunk. He got the fucking shit lifted up in the back. He just doing it there. But through my peripheral, I can see him clocking me. I see him checking me out. But I ain't tripping. I thought maybe, you know what I mean? He got some, he's curious if I know something. I got a lot of bump in my system. Maybe he wanted to ask me about some speakers or some shit. I don't know. But he kept clocking me. He's like 10 rows over. But I see him because I people watch. On the phone, minding my business. Now I get deep into it. I'm texting, probably call or somebody. I don't know. I'm getting into this conversation. Going a little back and forth. And then all of a sudden he say, "What's up, man?" I look up, goddamn nigga scared me a little bit. Scared me just a little bit because I wasn't paying attention. Because I was too locked into what the fuck I was talking about. Say nothing. He goes, "Oh, okay. What you up to?" Nothing, man. Sitting in my car. Because I'm like, nigga, bitch, you see me. So I'm here in my car. Oh, okay. Hey, you live here? Now, I happen to have my license in my breast pocket. Had a shirt on, little polo that got a breast pocket. Got my license right there. But I'm sitting there like, I'm not finna pull my license. I live here. I'm not pulling my license out. I say, Yeah, I live here. He say, oh yeah? In this building? I say, man, you ain't never seen this car right here? Because the thing about my automobile, man, I got a very distinct plate on the front of my fucking vehicle. I park in the same spot. I also park the same way every single time. We don't have assigned parking, but where I live, where I park, nobody really wants to park there, so I'm good. So I asked him, I said, man, you ain't never seen this car here before? He say, nah. I said, you ain't never seen this face before? I'll tell you why that's important later. He said, nah. I said, well, yeah, I live here, man. I live in that building. And he go, oh, okay. Do you got a gun? Like, do I got it? First of all, I'm not finna admit to you, Mr. White Man, that I got a gun. So no. Nah, man, I ain't got no gun. I chuckle. Nah, I ain't got no gun. Now I'm annoyed. Because now it's interrogation. So I look away, I look down. Now I got two phones. One, the phone that was in my lap got a little leather grip to it and a little shine. So I look down. I realize, oh, he think this in my lap is a gun. I pick it up. I said, oh, you mean my phone? Nah. He looked back at me and he shriveled up. He looked like a nigga was about to, he really looked like he thought he was finna catch some fire. He really thought like he was about to get laid out. And I'm like, fam, and I laugh a little bit. And I say, man, nah, I said, this my phone. And he go, okay, yeah, okay, well, it's all good, bro. It's all good. My name's da. Nah, fuck that. He said, my name's Jeff. I say, all right, Jeff. I'm like, you don't need to know my name, nigga. You think I don't live here, Jeff. Now, here's the thing. Here's the important part of this story. Because he goes back and he finished detailing. And I was thinking, maybe I need to get up to prove to him that I live. I'm like, no, I'm in my vehicle that's always in the same spot. Bitch, you just decided to come outside. I'm always here. You just decided to come outside. Bitch, who is you? But here's the interesting thing. Jeff in this black Range Rover, red brake pads, he's my actual fucking neighbor. He literally lives the next door over. Never seen my vehicle, never seen my fucking face. Somehow. Yet, I know Jeff. He listens to techno music loud as fuck every time I walk past that goddamn door. He's waiting for the beat to drop. Yet, I had to prove my residency to the man. Now, here's the other thing, man. So, I end up getting out of my car because I need to charge my phone. Get to the get inside, realize, damn, I can't find my charger. But I need a new charger anyway. So, I get changed. I go back outside. It's late. It's goddamn 9 p.m. Jeff's still outside. He's still outside from his car. Now, in my mind, I go, hold on, bitch. Now this is weird. Now, when I was outside, it was like 6 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. You still fucking around with this vehicle. Now, what you up to, nigga? You doing some car bombing shit? Who are you, ISIS? What's going on, Jeff? Huh? You an insurgent? What's going on? So, I go home. I go to Walmart, go pick up a charger, come back, take about 10 minutes. Little neighborhood Walmart. I see a kid skateboarding. Now, speaking of shit I ain't used to seeing at 9, 10 o'clock at night, it's a motherfucker skateboarding in my lot. Jeff, still outside. You don't question the kid with the goddamn skate guy, because I ain't seen no shit like this before. Not in my lot. No questions for him. That's the most bizarre shit for me to see, because I ain't used to seeing it. Who the fuck skateboarding in the dark? We ain't got no lights out there. Not where he was at. But Jeff, worry about me sitting in my goddamn car, minding my business, texting, Jeff, the fuck out of my business, bruh. Now, I can't wait to run into him in the breezeway, just so he could get a look at me. Bitch, I told you I lived here. Jeffrey. I might call him Jeffrey. Matter of fact, I hope if I see him, he don't see me, so I can scare the fuck out of him. Anyway, we about to get into this motherfucking conspiracy episode, man. Shout out to Zio from the Zio and Rome podcast for jumping in on this. And again, go follow me on Rose Famous. Man, look, I also do a little not question of the day, but every week I try to drop a few questions because I got questions. And this week I got questions on my Instagram, Ro Knows, which is also basically on my fucking Twitter, Rose Famous. This week I asked, very important question. Does everybody count? Meaning, is there sexual partners that you have that you don't count? Does everybody count? Because I tell you right now, everybody count for me. Fuck that. Nope. Don't say we ain't do it. We did it, even if I don't want to remember. What if you glow up? What if you get some surgery? I hit that. What if she fall off? Fuck it. I hit it. You know what I mean? She used to look good. I don't know. It's a story to it. So we talked about that, man. So go over there, check that out. Some of the responses on that. I don't know because I did in the story. So by the time this come out, you ain't gonna see it. But yeah, come chop it up with me. Also, make sure you go over to Zio and Rome on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. They got their own content going up. They do their whole shit as well. So if we don't explain something in this episode, this the information. I ain't coming back on the other side. All right. So this is the conspiracy episode. We talk about a little bit of everything. It's me. Hey, and YouTube don't flag this shit, man. Don't flag this. This conspiracy. We not promoting conspiracy. We just working it out. We don't know. Did we go to the moon? I don't know. JFK still alive? Don't know. Aliens? Maybe. All right. Till next time, tell your mama, say hi. Check out episode. Well, what was a bonus episode? Now, new episode. Episode 93. I'm Kind of Famous Podcast.
About my class.
All right. So this is a little bonus bit of the I'm Kind of Famous Podcast. You can find kindoffamouspod.com.
Extra.
Yeah, extra. Facebook.com/kindofamouspod. Wherever you stream podcasts. You can also find Zio, who's just on episode 82. On in her show, the Zio and Rome podcast, also wherever you stream podcasts, and they also on YouTube doing video. Mm-hmm. How y'all liking video now?
It's got its good and bads, which we're figuring everything out as we go along, but trial and error. We're learning.
All right, so we doing a little bonus because Zio is into conspiracy. I like conspiracy. And we ended episode 82 where I didn't expect the conspiracy to be there, and somehow I got interested in it, and I need to transition to the bonus. So we're here. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the Gucci situation. You said it's a distraction, and I went with marketing, and then you said the shit about Soulja Boy that actually made me think like, yo, that is convenient as fuck.
Seriously, think about it. It's like, what other Gucci situation has been like present in your face that much the last few years?
And
none.
I mean, as far in terms of like that and Soulja Boy, like, look. I'm pontificating.
You can't even talk.
Right,
you can't even talk. That's how serious it's getting.
So, because like Soulja Boy was, I mean that's how 2019 started. Fast forward, we talked about the what was it? How all this gets out from marketing. Like too many departments would see this before it went on a website. So you would think that someone wearing a black as fuck sweater, the only thing that's red on it is the outline of the lips, and they put it on a white person or white model to advertise that it had to look a certain way to a room of people. And then this has always been the curious thing to me. So Gucci drops this. Who saw it? Who's the first? Who took note of this? Like,
I don't know. Like, I feel like there like when it comes to certain like corporate America and things like that, that you have to go through specific approvals, right? So they're going through different layers of people saying, yeah, that's good, yeah, that's good, that's good. So at some point, someone has to look at, unless all racist white people are running your business, someone at some point is going to look at this and be like, guys, I think that something's not okay here.
But even still, like, even after you get out of the office, let's just assume it was innocent. It got out of the office. Like, someone was browsing Gucci when this dropped, and immediately it was a hot topic. Like, that quick.
Yeah.
And that's where I go, like, this is just, like, this is marketing. It's like they leaked it themselves. They created a narrative. And it was all promotion, because going back to the Soulja Boy thing is like, okay, there's no way you was that disconnected, because Soulja Boy's been running around wearing Gucci. What made you think that this black shirt going into production was? I don't even know if it was legitimately ever on the site for sale. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. But then did you see like Soulja Boy supposedly switched up his Gucci headband and started rocking, I think it was Fendi, because he was saying that Gucci wasn't paying him no money. And then right after that, that's when the sweater came out. Like, I don't know, like I don't believe in coincidences. I feel like everything is tied to each other in one way or another for specific reasons. Like coincidences, yeah, I don't believe in that.
so you said that you felt like it was a distraction.
Yeah, I do. I don't know what the distraction is from, but I definitely feel like things are, it's like seeing a shiny figure and you're a little baby and they like hang it in front of your eyes because there's something bigger going on in the background.
Yeah, well, this Gucci thing did take a storm. It led to some, my whole thing with luxury brands and black people is like, yo, come on. Like, y'all not really buying this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I get annoyed, honestly, when I see rappers, like, even like I've been working on From the Ground Up ICT.com, where like these rappers will do a video and they got money everywhere. It's in my mind, if you haven't made it as a rapper and you figured out how to get bands of money, keep doing that shit.
Facts.
Why even jump into this hard as fuck game, 1 in a million lotto game? Keep doing whatever it is that got you these bands. And so when I see them wearing the Balenciagas or the Red Bottoms or Gucci's and Louis and things like that, I mean, the abundance of it. I mean, I think I got a few pieces personally. Damn, do I gotta get rid of my Gucci? I guess I gotta get rid of my Gucci. Damn. That was a self-revelation I wasn't ready for. I don't want to talk about Gucci no more.
Okay.
All right, so
you sit on that.
How did you, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I'll say this, though. T.I. saying boycott Gucci for 3 months or whatever fuck it is, that's bullshit. If you're going to boycott some shit, it's a boycott. You either like it or you don't like it.
Indefinitely.
And if you're a guy like in his position with millions of dollars, to me, when you say boycott it for 3 months, that means that you got some Gucci shit in the closet that you still want to be able to rock later.
Facts. And not only just that, like, let's be 100. When you're saying that to your fans, let's be 100. A good chunk of your fans probably can't afford Gucci or Prada that you're saying to boycott. So technically I've been boycotting them forever because I don't buy Gucci or Prada, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It was van. A lot of these dudes are turning to ambulance chasers, in my opinion. They just talking about
riding the wave.
Yeah, like, okay, this is gonna be good self publicity for being a social, what is it called, social activist warrior, whatever. But don't shit ever really come from it. But
socially conscious.
Yeah. I mean, T.I. been running off saying big words for years now. Like, look, fam, we get it. You got books in your closet. Like, Like, just talk to me. Stop doing this shit.
I got you.
How did you get into conspiracies? Like, where you was just like, look, I'm locked in.
So before I even knew what the word conspiracy even meant, I've always been like questionative. I was always a questionative child. Like, I always wanted to know why, or like if my mom told me you have to do this, I'd always wonder, why do I have to do this, or like what is the end result of me doing this? Like, I was always extremely questionative. And then, you know, you start to realize I'm very intuitive also, so I started to learn people's characters just by like the way that they interacted, and people sometimes have hidden agendas. So once you realize that, you don't shoot anything down. So I started to like watch YouTube, and like, you know, the YouTube is really big on like conspiracy videos and all of these things. And I'm not saying that I co-sign on every conspiracy video or theory that there is out there, but I'm woke, if that's the term I want to use. I'm woke enough to know that the possibility is always there. So it may not be true, it may not be false, but the possibility can we won't know. We won't know. And like, things come out all the time where it's like, we don't know everything that the government is doing behind closed doors. Like, we're kept in the dark for certain things because we're not supposed to know certain things. Like, when what was that the information, what the hell, bro? I know you know what I'm talking about. It's like when they finally decided to release information from Area 51, and it was like it was a specific name to the project. Damn it.
Shit, I don't know. I was about to say
it was like release Freedom of Info or something like that.
The Freedom of Information Act.
Yes, the Freedom of Information Act. When that came out, I was like, wait, so you're telling me for real that everything that everybody's been telling me that I thought, was just being made up is actually real? And then you look at those forms and a lot of the things are like blacked out. And you're like, wait, why is this blacked out? Why are you still hiding something from me?
To protect
if it's freedom of information, shouldn't I know everything?
No. Fuck no.
Exactly. Hence conspiracy theories.
What was speaking? Okay, I think honestly, I think a lot of people journey into conspiracy has to start with like the UFO Area 51 shit, because that's always been like a light obsession of mine to be is the, you know, aliens and like what really happened, what's in Area 51, the fact that they keep people away from that place and I can go anywhere else in the world but there. Was like, even to this day, it's still like, nah, y'all can't come over here. It's closed, but nah, don't come here. Like, we paying
like,
people.
Why am I forbidden from here?
Yeah, so, well, before we dive too deep, I got another a current conspiracy that's I didn't expect that we could do, but what about the Jussie Smollett deal?
Ooh.
What?
I don't necessarily know how I feel about that yet. Do you feel like it's something that was set up? Because I feel like now the latest thing that has come out is that supposedly it wasn't 2 Caucasian men. It was actually 2 black men that were seen in the video.
So, Jussie Smollett is the guy from the fuck is the show? Empire, who he was beaten up. And we talked. I don't know when I talked. We talked about it on one of these episodes. Go look it up. And he was beaten up, and he got
bleach was thrown on him.
Bleach was thrown on him. He had a noose around his neck. Ribs, shit happened to his ribs, and he came out when he was arrested, or not arrested. When he talked to the police, he had said that 2 Caucasian males attacked him. They wore "Make America Great Again" hats and all the stuff we just described happened. They called him racial slurs and gay slurs and things like that. And so immediately people it became a divisive conversation. Look at these white people beating up this dude. This happened in Chicago. I think he was on the way to a subway. I can't remember if it was a subway or a train station. Can't remember.
I think it was a restaurant.
All right. He should get, at this point, he should get beat up for going to Subway, but I digress. So fast forward, there's a lot of holes in this story, and recently, two black males, Nigerian males, their original was people of interest. Then they were suspects, in which now they can be arrested and apprehended. And yesterday or 2 days ago, they was arrested, and then last night they were let go. Through interrogation, they found out new information, so they got to go home. And now we're at a place where we don't know what the fuck happened. But what we do know wasn't two white men who beat him up. So I got a friend who's gay, in the LGBT community, and we were talking about it, and we're both thinking like, well, at least for me, I was thinking she thinks it's about money or something like that. I'm not sure why I think it is, but I said whatever it is, it has to be big enough. Whatever the situation he caught up in, it has to be big enough for you to scream racism and bigotry, creating a conversation about hate crime and putting it on white people in a time where we really don't need more of that if it's not true.
Yes, I agree to that. However, do you feel that if, let's just say that it is something that was made up, do you feel that it is kind of to balance out what our own president may be doing?
It's possible.
On the other side of the spectrum?
It's possible, but it's irresponsible.
I agree to that.
Now, granted, what the president doing is insanity. But as a person who, from what I understand, is a leader in the LGBT community, who is a star on a show, to do what he did, if it looks like what it looks like to me, that he's lying, and made all this up, what would have been the end goal here? Like, what would he have achieved? Like how would have any of this helped anything?
Well, I don't think it would have helped anything. I think it definitely would have brought a spotlight upon him, which, that goes back to what we spoke about in your last episode, which is like people seeking attention. So perhaps he felt like riding the wave of, this division and hatred that we're currently seeing in the United States was the way to go. And then it would highlight him and people would feel bad for him and woe is me and all of these things. So, I mean, not right, but I can see how he probably, if it was to be a setup situation where he was lying about it, where he probably felt like it could work to his advantage.
Well, in my opinion, he's lying. I think he's going to jail. I think likely if he's charged in anything is obstruction of justice, misleading information in a crime, a hate crime, which I believe hate crime's a federal crime. So he is likely going to prison. I just don't know if this would have been worth it.
I don't think any of that shit is worth it, honestly. I don't care.
So yeah, I just wanted to touch that conspiracy because they're conspiring to do something, but we'll go into something that's a little more salacious. What's happening out here?
Okay.
What's one of your favorite conspiracy topics to dive into?
Well, as of late, one of the biggest thoughts, because I actually watch a lot of documentaries and all these ancient aliens and all of these types of documentaries as far as like what the possibility of where we may have come from. And my latest and biggest conspiracy theory is that we are actually originally from Mars, because we are only replicating, trying to figure out what is on Mars and how we can go back to possibly making that living planet because we've already been there. There's been things that have been found on the actual soil of Mars that kind of mirror what we currently have here on Earth. And it's almost like we're repeating history, and we're only trying to like get the technology up to par, which we've already done in the past, to travel back to Mars. So we fucked up Mars while we were there, and the planet became unlivable. We traveled to Earth, made this place able to be livable, and now this place is going to shits, and we're trying to find a way back to Mars.
So
That is my latest conspiracy theory.
So, all right, I will entertain this.
Okay.
So that would also have to mean that there is some body or bodies on Earth currently that knows that that to be true.
Kind of, sort of. I probably feel like there may be some sort of documentation that may show that, but I don't know if there's like a living person that may know that. I mean, like, you got to think about like when it comes to light years and traveling, and I'm pretty sure no one from actual Mars still currently lives on Earth and knows we originated from Mars.
So let's do the alien thing then. So
Okay.
if we came from Mars and inhabited Earth to fuck it up, basically,
Pretty much.
then this is about to get crazy.
Yep.
Then all right, so we have all the UFO phenomena and the what they call that shit when people get, I guess, abducted, but it was something else.
Probed.
Sure, let's go
So-
with probed. I've been trying to probe a bitch out of 2019. It just ain't happening. So when they come down, when they come
Right.
from wherever they come from, if they are from Mars, when they come from here, come
Mhm.
to here or whatever,
Mhm.
why are we having trouble finding them when we go throw shit on Mars? Are they inside are they inside of Mars? Are we not on the right
because
side?
perhaps they too had to leave. I mean, you got to think about how many galaxies are really out there that we
Okay.
don't know about.
Yep.
So perhaps they too traveled somewhere outside, and because their technology is still far greater than what we are currently trying to get to, they're kind of like checking in on us to see if we've figured it out yet.
Why can't they? I mean, just take somebody. why do it in the mystery of night? Just like, pull up, holler at somebody. Come to the hood one
Because you
time.
can't just do stuff like that. Think about the mayhem that it would occur.
But
Like,
if I was from a different, I'm not from Earth.
Galaxy?
I don't give a fuck what kind of mayhem I create somewhere else. Think about what we do when we go to a whole nother country. If you go to a hotel, you go fuck up a whole hotel room and leave.
But there's an agenda to everything. Just because you personally feel that you don't give a fuck, maybe if they exposed certain things, it would cause other things to happen that don't need to happen.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who's the guy trying to go to Mars? We trying to live on Mars.
We're trying, like, think about it. What is the point of us trying to figure out if Mars is like inhabitable? Like, then they're like, oh, we found water on Mars. Well, that's weird. How did we find water on Mars? Like, have you ever watched Ancient Aliens?
Yeah, I will watch from the time to time whenever they talked about like pyramids or monoliths and shit like that.
Yes, I was
So-
just gonna say that. So, like, do you believe in the thought that they say, which is that the pyramids all throughout the world are set up in a specific way that kind of counteract the constellations within the sky, and it's basically for some sort of communication with the outside galaxies?
It's an interesting thought. I don't know. I mean, I watched Man, I was over someone's house and we watched something about these big ass stones, these big pillars and shit. That was like, there's no way, you know.
How did people do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's difficult. Like my giants, I don't know. Like
Giants?
shit like that makes it more compelling. Like some redneck or bodunk person saying like, oh, it came down and stuck me in the ass is, you know, it's like, yeah, maybe, or you know, your uncle is handsy. But then when it comes down to like pyramids, you know,
things that you can actually visually see.
Things that just, or not only that you can see, that we can't do now
Explain.
with regular, you know, if we don't have a machine or a contemporary machinery to do this, it can't be done. Like there's no way, no one can figure out, well, what kind of wheel or whatever that would have got all this shit up there. Like how many slaves would have pushed that particular corner of a pyramid to make it perfect and get all the way to the top of that bitch and come all the way down to get the next one.
Like it's almost impossible. Or even like the arts that were in a lot of the Egyptian caves, a lot of these gods and goddesses that they kind of portrayed on these cave walls seemed not very normal human like that we would see today. They had very big heads, very long arms, very long legs. So it was almost like, were they seeing something from beyond them, something that we don't necessarily see today? Like, are our ancestors really aliens? Like, it's a lot of questions that sometimes I ask myself when I see these things.
Yeah, but I would also want to be curious to know if those locations see a lot of alien-like activity.
And why those locations?
Mm.
Why those locations? I always was of the thought that like, oh, Area 51, which is like Mexico and New Mexico, and right? Area 51 is in New Mexico, right?
Roswell.
Okay. Yeah. So New Mexico, or like places that are like very like open fields, like are they only able to see these things because they have such wide spaces where these UFOs can land? Like, you're never going to hear of someone seeing a UFO in New York City.
Allegedly, I mean, there's been alleged sightings.
In New York City?
Yeah, there was like, I can't remember when it was. It was one, if not city, it was like Jersey or some shit like that, like something crazy.
But where do you hear the majority of it? It's like in like bodunk places where there's massive land and all these things. And it's like, I've always thought like, why these places? Like, is it because they have so much open space?
I mean, I don't know. That's why we talking about it. I don't have answers.
That's what makes it conspiracy.
No, it's in Las Vegas. I'm tripping. Area 51 is in Las Vegas.
Oh, got it.
Nevada. So, all right. I'm gonna jump off of that. Where are you at on Flat Earth?
Flat Earth?
Yeah. You round or you flat? What are we doing?
Dumb. I am a round person. Like, flat earther, that you guys are dumb. Seriously? Get over yourself.
I watched the piece a few days ago. I might link it on the thing. I watched the thing about Flat Earth. The shit, no, it wasn't compelling. But what it was like, the dude made this whole model to represent what flat, the earth being flat, being a disc, Antarctica, circling the rim of the earth. And to me, I don't understand. This has always been my thing about it. It's like, look, if you believe this, you and your people get a boat, build it, buy it, whatever, and just go straight. And let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. If you really believe you can fall off the edge of this bitch.
I actually have a cousin that tried to explain it to me in that way, like, oh well, if you are on a boat and you have binoculars and you keep looking at the boat, then you can continue to see it. If the earth is round, at some point you shouldn't be able to see that boat. And I'm like, you sound like the biggest idiot I've ever fucking heard. Like, seriously, so you think that at some point, like, the boat is just supposed to fall? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Do you guys know that the earth still rotates on an axis regardless?
Yep.
So
1
you may
second
think
per
that you're
second.
going exactly. You may think that you're going fast, and really the earth is still spinning with you. So it just doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, if you actually paid attention in science class, you would know that the flat earth theory is fucking nonsense.
And that the video I watched, they did this test. They did exactly that. And what happened, they had like a boat, a little kind of sailboat, and it just went straight. And the point that the scientists was trying to make, the flat earther says you can continue to see it no matter how far away it gets. And
Exactly.
And the earthers, round earthers or normal people, they said no, it'll, because of the horizon, it will eventually drop, and that's the curvature of the earth. So that is what happened. The further away it got, the less that you could see of the boat from this location of flat land. And the flat earther was like, bullshit. They saw it happen, and they still was deniers of their very own eyes. I don't get it. I don't get going against agreed upon science for just your idea, because it's all it is. They have no proof they have no proof behind it. It's just, I think it's flat.
It doesn't make any sense to me personally. And like, I heard someone actually say not too long ago that gravity wasn't a real thing. They were like, oh, if I keep my foot up for so long, I checked out after a while because it didn't make any fucking sense to me. I'm like, seriously? Like, you really think that there's no such thing? Oh, well, how can I keep my leg up? Nigga, it's muscle. Like, it has nothing to do with gravity. Your muscle in your leg is what is allowing you to put your leg up. Oh, if there's gravity, it should pull it down. Eventually, it's going to be pulled down, but it's not because... it's just stupid.
Yeah,
People sometimes make up shit that doesn't even make any sense.
And that's the frustrating part is like, see, like early in episodes, I had another friend of mine that's a major conspiracy theorist. And we kind of had a conversation. We talked about a lot of things. And the thing about a good conspiracy is there's enough truth to deny it, to deny fact, what is agreed upon fact. Think about a bad conspiracy, like no gravity is like, yo, I can't even have this conversation with you because there's nothing about what you're saying that I can even agree with.
Yeah, and not only just that, like, I'm the type of person that I don't want to have conversations like that because I feel dumb after even arguing the point with you. Like, I'm not having this conversation with you because I'm going to lose IQ points.
Boom. Did we go to the moon?
To the moon?
Did we go?
Let's do it.
I'm asking, did we go to the moon?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I think we went.
You think you did?
I think we went to the moon.
I don't know. I don't think we went to the moon.
Why not?
I think that there was... I don't think we went to the moon.
All right, do you think we went to the moon or did we go when we said we went?
Oh, I think we've gone to the moon.
Okay.
But I don't think that we went when we originally said that we went.
Mm.
And I think it was to kind of portray to people that we were far more advanced and these great things were happening and all, like, just trying to like fake the funk. I think that we at some point figured it out and were able to travel there. And perhaps it was in the works when we said that we went there, but I don't think that it originated when it actually was said to.
I don't know, man. I think we got there. I think USA. USA. I think we
What was the year again that Armstrong landed on the moon?
Okay, look here. Let me Google.
Let's Google that. Let's Google that because I think that may say a lot. Let's see. When did
I got it.
we
July
land?
16, 1969.
Now think about 1969.
All right.
Shall we?
Okay.
Do you think that in 1969, mind you, we're in 2019 now, we still don't know what other galaxies are out there? We still don't know if there really is a way to live on Mars. We just discovered there is other planets that we have within our own galaxy. Do you think that in 1969, we were able to build a ship of sorts that was able to land us on the moon and record it?
I do. I think
You do?
I think okay, so I look at it like this. So we look at the technology of 1969.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe as per usual, NASA will always have technology far greater than what
What they perceive, what they portray.
what they portray and what we have. So like you think about 1969. So let's do that. Let's think. Well, that is what exactly how many years? I don't know. A lot. 40, 50 years ago.
50.
So 50 years later, I got a phone in my hand. Ironically, Galaxy Note 9. Note 9. This motherfucker has more space than a lot of laptops have.
Mm-hmm.
It can do 3D shit, talk, text, all this nonsense, and way more than I'm probably able to even explain. I have its camera is better than one of the cameras that I have in my fucking thing over there. Like in this one little phone. So if I have this 50 years later, whatever NASA is using is probably 50 years beyond this. And so that's why I feel like that little bullshit camera that they show on this video. I'm like, shit, I bet that's like a little HD camera then. I don't know. I mean, I'm just making it up, but I kind of feel like they would have had the technology to make, because look, we wasn't the only one trying. So if we wasn't the only one trying, that means there was at least 2-3 countries at that moment both trying to do the exact same thing. So that would mean all 3 of them would at least feel like they had the technology to make it happen from Earth.
Right, I agree to that. Now, do you think of like you just mentioned your phone and these things that your phone can do? Do you believe? Are you of the thought that we took a lot of the metals and technology from crashed spaceship UFOs to kind of dissect it and see how we can provide our own, like provide that into our own technology?
I think
Like,
I don't know, but I would lean towards that way just because I feel like, it's so many things that you just can't explain why that works. Like, I mean, I don't even understand how air balloons work. Like, for real.
you don't understand how what works?
Air balloons. I don't, a motherfucker
Air
just get a
balloons?
balloon, a hot air balloon. Like, a motherfucker just put a balloon in a basket and they just like, fuck it, we going somewhere.
Like, who thought of that?
That's crazy to me. Airplanes in and of itself and carrying that many people getting that bigger. Like, fucking, I got a Alexa over there. Like, it's so many things that you just really can't someone is explaining it, but I don't think the explanation is good enough for technology, on the technology. I think technology is crazy. In fucking 5 years, I got a whole computer in my pocket.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Them like what the fuck is it called? Like there's metals that supposedly fell from a lot of these spaceships that supposedly crashed that we've used within our cell phones to be able to like provide thousands and thousands and thousands of like signals. I don't know, like I don't know. Like there's just so much that I don't know that I feel like there has to be a hidden agenda.
Yeah, to fucking sell you an iPod. I don't know, like whatever it is, they doing a good job. They listening to me right now. Like, yeah, I would probably agree that the technology is so crazy, and it came from something that they was like, yo, this shit work. Like, fucking, I'm pretty sure there is a soldier in some military base that's invincible right goddamn now because of something that they found on Roswell or something. I don't know. Men in Black.
Some Captain America shit.
Some Captain America shit. Some Iron Man shit.
Yeah, like what's the metal that they use in Wakanda?
The metal that they used in Wakanda? Shit like that? I don't I can't remember. But vibranium.
Oh, vibranium.
Yeah.
Vibranium.
Yeah, like that kind of shit.
I think that shit is like real. We just don't know about it. And like my question is, why can't we know about it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's really the question to me, is like, why can't we know about these things? Why have you kept this from us? Why do you think that we would go crazy if we knew that you guys were hiding alien bodies in Area 51?
You know,
like
just thinking about it, I think why is because there's going to be the lunatic out there who wants to, you know, I think that's when real life turns into like a superhero movie where, you know, Lex Luthor wants to go get it, and next thing you know, the fucking United States is destroyed and controlled by one man, Lex Luthor. And we need fucking Batman, a rich billionaire, to come through. I don't know, maybe Jeff Bezos or whatever fuck his name is. And then next thing, there we go. That's how shit gets started. That's how I have to assume it, because that's how it happens on the cartoons.
Right.
But
right.
That don't feel too far off, because it's like I'm one of them people, like when it comes to the government, I don't want to know all that shit. Don't tell me.
You really don't want to know?
Like I mean stuff like you know, like torture. If we torturing people, I don't need to know. Fuck it. Get the information. Do whatever you need to do to get the information, keep me safe. Cause me having
I want to know.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Information is dangerous sometimes.
I want to know for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm a Spanish female and I'm kind of nosy. And two, because I feel the more I know, the more aware I am of what I need to look out for. So I know how to move accordingly. I don't want anyone ever feeling like they have to get information off of me for some reason, and then they end up waterboarding me, and I'm like, I don't know anything. What the fuck? I just want to know that what you're doing.
All right, we gonna run through another one. This one is gonna feel more real life, and this is one conspiracy that it's chilling for me, and I'll explain why when we talk about it. And I typically don't talk about it much, because it scares the fuck out of me. But child sex trafficking.
Okay. Do I think it's a real thing?
So you know they have the I don't want to say this. Bohemian Grove.
Yes.
And what it is supposed to be this place where all these presidents and high power people go in and go fuck kids and shit. Like when they go kidnap kids, they go take them to Bohemian Grove and make them child sacrifices and this whole thing. And Bush had, you know, there's a lot of people supposed to be a part of this deal. Now, do you believe that part? Do you believe in the possibility of child sex trafficking for sacrificing to
I don't know if I necessarily sign to that thought or that conspiracy, but you mentioned the same exact verbiage that I mentioned originally at the beginning of this episode, which was the possibility. I think that conspiracies if you're a conspiracy theorist, you should always be of the thought that there's always a possibility for this to be factual. So I definitely think that there's things that a higher society that we're not necessarily aware of, whether you call it Illuminati or whether you call it this, Freemasons or these secret exclusive members only type of, groups. I think that there's definitely things that they do within themselves that maybe we're not privy to. But whether it is human trafficking, child trafficking, whatever the case may be, I don't know. I can't say yes or no, but I definitely agree to the thought that there's definitely something that's happening within secret societies that we're not aware of. There's definitely secret societies.
Because that defeats the whole purpose of the secret word. I shouldn't know.
That's facts.
But I'm gonna tell you why this trafficking thing, and it takes us right back to Jesse Smollett and Subway. Jared from Subway was, we all know Jared from Subway. He was arrested for having child pornography.
Right.
You heard of this, I imagine.
Yes, pedophilia, porn, children, yeah, all of that.
Now, he's doing time. He's in jail, this whole thing. But the part of it that is increasingly chilling for me, and that's because I started a documentary that I didn't finish, that I don't think I'm equipped to finish. And I was talking to a girl. She was in this group. And we had this conversation, and I remember she didn't want to interview at first, and then it was like, well, we'll come back to the next session and see if someone else is ready. We were just talking to these kids who was distraught, had some things going bad in their lives and trying to get it all together. And so this chick, she decided that she would stick around and talk. And I was like, cool. So we talked about, her tough time and her being in these juvenile systems and things like that, and what these things happen. And she says this thing to me. And she we was about to wrap up. We was finishing up with the interview. We said that was enough. It was getting deep. It was getting the tension in the room was heavy. And she says, do you believe what happened, things that happen in movies are real? And I answered, I said, well, I'm pretty sure things in movies are inspired by real things. So it's easy to write scenes when you're inspired by things that you experience. Then she pulls up her leg, and she shows me these scars on her leg. And she explained those scars, and the scars was like these numbers. She was like, that's my number. And in that, she goes, I belong to somebody. Things that happen in movies are real. And,
what?
And she said, and I'm going to shorten this part, but she explained this incident where she had to make a decision that was the decision of her freedom from the person that owned her. And it was like, the question was, do you want to die? And she said no.
What?
And they shot her friend in the head, the girl that she came to this building with. And she was basically a victim of human trafficking. And this girl's like 17 years old. And like that shit, like for me, when I'm interviewing, I hear stories like this, I can't show any emotion because I don't want to guide them into how they feel. So I'm sitting there, my fucking mind is blown, straight face. I got video of this whole thing. And I'm straight face. I'm just hearing it. I scratched my head and like everything about, like my whole fucking shit was rocked when she said that. Cause and basically I walked away, we had the video footage, and I'm sitting up thinking like, I can't, like, what do I do with this? Like, I can't do anything with this because I don't want to show her face because she just told a story about this thing, and who knows, she's so young, she probably don't know that she did a bad thing. Or maybe her freedom is free. Maybe she free. And So fast forward, that took me to this Jared thing. And I thought, the thing that no one thinks about, like, yeah, Jared's disgusting. He has all these child porn, terabytes of child porn on his computer. Terabytes is a lot. Y'all do video now. So terabytes is a fucking lot of video. And all I could think is, but he got it from somewhere. Like, fuck Jared. That's a person. The investigation
Facts.
has to go further to who he got it from. We don't never hear that story. When it comes to that kind of shit, we never hear the story about like where that person got it from or how he obtained it, because it came from somebody. He wasn't just sitting up. I've looked at a lot of porn. Never fucking ran across child porn ever. R. Kelly, but that was back in the day. But that was that we didn't know. Not like that. But like
Yeah, not like that.
But like to have, and that was a girl that's what, 16, 17. So that was like almost of age. Jared had like 11, 12-year-olds. No, there's no accident here. There's no assumption of maturity here. But for him to have it meant someone possessed it before him. But we never hear the story about that. And that took me to like, yo, this conspiracy now looks a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Because
you can't take the possibility away from it.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time I ever went that detailed. But yeah, like that is one that like really, it gets me a little bit because it's like, it came from somewhere. Like he didn't just, unless he was making them, it came from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I maybe it's me being naive in the thought that I don't want to think that this secret society may have. Oh, I can't even think about it. It actually irks me. Like, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I was like, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then I if I wouldn't have never interviewed that chick, it would have been like, I probably feel the same way. Like, yeah, whatever. But now, like, I have a fucking interview that fucking rocked my whole world, and I can't ever unhear it. So
I actually have a quick question for you, and I want to know so have you seen, it's been on YouTube, it's actually been on a few social media platforms as well. Have you seen the supposed interview from back in the day of someone from Area 51 interviewing an alien from the future?
No.
You have not?
I have not.
Oh my God, I need to send this to you once this is over, because literally the things that this person says, well, I'm saying person because the alien claims that it's human, but it's just evolved because of what has happened to Earth. And that's the way that they had to evolve to survive, and what he came back for, and what he believes in, and how we were basically became the end of our species. It's crazy. You will watch this and you're like, yo, this can't be real. This cannot be real, because if it is, it's gonna blow your mind.
All right, well, we're gonna make sure that gets in the show notes, because that is crazy. That's a wild one.
I'm serious.
Tupac, dead or not?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
Tupac, dead or alive? He's dead. He's dead. Biggie's dead. Pac is dead. I think that people wish that they weren't, but the only conspiracy theory in the whole Pac and Biggie murder is really who murdered them, not whether or not they're dead.
Yeah, I read Jay Prince's book, Puff. I'll say it. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be no rapper no more, Puff, so I don't give a fuck. Okay. Alien abduction. Now, based on what we've had, I assume that you believe in alien abduction.
Do I believe in alien abduction?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I believe in alien abduction.
All right, here's the question then. Why do they only get certain type of people?
I think that they only get certain type of people because it depends on like the level of open-mindedness that you may have. So perhaps they feel like they can get further with certain people than they can with others.
But why wouldn't you want the intelligence of us, the more intelligent of people, to be abducted versus the ones that we clearly like? I think
Because intelligence doesn't always mean open-mindedness. Some people are book smart and they're completely closed-minded to everything else.
Yeah, that's true, but seeing is believing. If you get in this situation and you see it, like, I tell you this one thing I want to do. Like, I want to get some people together to do this. I've wanted to go do my own ghost hunt type of thing and maybe do it like live on Facebook or some shit, like Facebook stream it or whatever. Cause it's like, look, this your boy. I ain't got no, you know what I mean? If I say that I saw this, I hope my word is enough to let you know, nigga, it was some ghosts out in that bitch. We saw some demons.
Right.
Versus, because, you know, everything else is so Hollywood, well, seems to be so Hollywood. And I would think, like, if you grab the right person with credibility, shit, open-minded or not, if you get on Facebook, like, fam, I saw this little
Yeah, but then you
egghead
don't know
motherfucker.
what you don't know what you don't know. And I think that people, when they don't necessarily agree to something, they automatically pin that person to be crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's your boy. You know I ain't crazy.
It's your boy.
Like, you know I ain't crazy.
I've never been crazy before. Why would I be lying about this?
Yeah, so when I hit him and I'm just like, look, fam, I don't know. Because this is the thing. This is the difference between the person who they have on TV and like a real motherfucker doing this. If you get a real motherfucker doing this, he gonna start out with, look, remember the Amanda Berry girl who got kidnapped and the dude was like, I was at McDonald's or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
That's the type of dude that you gotta abduct because he gonna be like, look, fam, I don't know what the fuck it is I saw. But if a person started with that, if a dude was abducted by an alien or something, and his interview starts with, I don't know what the fuck it was, but I believe him. Cause he ain't
Yeah, I can see that.
he ain't saying like, look, I know this shit. He know this shit sound crazy, but this is what I saw. I don't know if it was real or
Right.
not, but this is what I saw. This your boy.
He's like, I can neither confirm nor deny if these things were real, but let me tell you what I saw.
Cause you know what he gonna say at the end? You ain't gotta fucking believe me. I know what I saw.
Facts. Word.
When he hit you with
I
that,
get it.
you gotta believe. There we
Yeah,
go.
I agree to that.
All right. So
I would hope if I ever bump into a UFO and an alien and I told my friends that they would believe me.
that's what I'm saying. Cause then they gonna interview the friends. Is she crazy? Like, nah, man. I mean,
She's always been super sane. I don't know what got into her all of a sudden.
yeah. Now that's when you figure out who your friends really are. Like, man,
Facts.
Z on that
Facts.
bullshit. You know, she was smoking that shit.
If I get
last
probed
night.
by an alien and I tell you that I got probed by an alien and you label me as crazy and then you go on camera and tell people, I don't know, she wasn't crazy until that specific time frame, you were never my friend.
I'll say this though: if the Men in Black come ask me and they got a bag for me, yeah, you crazy. It's crazy. Like,
Damn, that easy though?
hey, if they got a bag, are you crazy? See, now you sound crazy. If they come through,
I'm about to pull a Monique on this bitch and be like, integrity is above the bag.
as soon as they give me $500,000, I'm like, look, man, you know it's $500,000. I'm like, come on, I'll give you some. I know you was telling the truth. All right, well, shit. Is there a other than the alien stuff? Is there another conspiracy that still kind of itches at you a little bit?
Besides the whole government thing, that's like probably one of the strongest conspiracy theories that I have is like the government definitely distracts us from things. The government definitely doesn't tell us things, whether it's aliens or other things.
I don't think that's a conspiracy at this point. I think we know the government lies to us.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it began as a conspiracy. I think that they wanted us to believe for a long time that we were very aware of everything that was going on. But like, have you ever watched the show Scandal?
I have.
Okay, I think that that's very real. I think that so much shit happens behind these White House doors and behind this government that is like sick in the fucking head that we would never even fathom. I think that's very, very, very real.
See, my conspiracy, I like good real, like, because that kind of stuff is like, if they doing it, ain't shit I can do. But I like those conspiracies of the, people getting killed randomly. And it's like, hold on.
Like the CIA having assassins to kill people?
Yeah,
like JFK or Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Like shit like that.
Yeah,
I like the stuff where they like, man, he knew too much. We had to get rid of him. Like, all right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that, I actually had a conversation one time where I'm like, yo, do you guys think that Jim Carrey is crazy or that he's just too woke?
Let me see. I've kind of steered clear of some of the Jim Carrey stuff. I think, can I give it another layer? Maybe he's an agent. Maybe he has some extra shit going on.
Okay. I didn't think about that. I just feel like he's reached a certain level within himself that he's just like so woke that people who are even just a little woke or not woke at all look at him like he's crazy, because when someone's stepping outside of what you consider norm, you think they're crazy.
It was a project I wanted to do locally for a while, and is where I wanted to get people back into having conversations. Let's sit in rooms with the crowd. This was actually inspired by Socrates, where back in the Roman times they would have a speaker in the round, and like everyone would sit together. So everyone would sit up and they'll take an idea and break it down, and that's where a lot of our great philosophical thoughts came from, is working it with the crowd. We disagreed, but we fleshed it out and tried to find that middle ground of ideas and thoughts. And I think what has happened is we're so far away from that you take a person like Jim Carrey, at this point of Jim Carrey, where he did so much work behind his thoughts. And I find this to be complicated sometimes when I talk to people, when I try to have deeper conversations with people. Because I hate when people go like, I don't know. Like, no. No one's right or wrong. Let's just try to figure it out. And I think,
there's no right or wrong answer.
And I think he's at a place where he can speak his thoughts so with so much precision. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's trying to. He knows his thoughts. He knows how to articulate those thoughts. That it is intimidating. But I would love to see a room full of people willing to just engage in that conversation. Unfortunately, a lot of the times when we see this, we see it as a one-way thing. We see it as a documentary. We see it as an interview. So it's one person who's asking probing questions versus a room trying to dissect the information and create greater understanding between ideas. I think we need more of that.
letting the flow of that organic conversation possibly lead to further understanding and maybe enlightenment.
Right. And that's the beauty to me of the podcast world. Even though it's still kind of this one direction conversation, I have the liberty to take an idea like Jussie Smollett and go, okay, let's take that and let's dive into it. Let's do a deep dive. And sometimes on my show, my listeners know at least, it's like, I fucking start ranting on some shit and then I just go start hitting some layers and then I'm kind of thinking this all out because I'm trying to make it to an hour. But the podcast allows you to do that where you don't see that, on the news because they're just doing a 7-minute cycle of conversation and they got 17 people who's waiting to speak. So you never get to really break down the conversation like you would at a town hall meeting. And that's what I think we need more of, because we need a lot more conversation.
I agree. We don't speak enough. I think that I think that not only do we not speak enough, I think that we don't listen enough. I think that sometimes people just speak to hear themselves say or respond to something instead of actually listening and taking in what is being said to them. For sure. But I don't think we know how. I think it's there.
It's just not cultivated because we don't. Going back to the conspiracy part of this, too many people thinking could be problematic. So the easier, the more watered down I can convince you to think, the easier it is to persuade you with basic ideas. So in that, I'll take something here. I don't even want to call this a conspiracy. This is like Colin Kaepernick for instance. This Colin Kaepernick thing for me isn't a complicated situation. So the initial conversation is about him kneeling. All right, so kneeling was a problem. Boom. So we get past kneeling, and then NFL becomes a racist organization, slave owners. So this is like the New Age plantation. Okay, cool, boom. Then he doesn't have a job. Okay, everyone's mad that he doesn't have a job. So it's like they should give him his job. He deserves to play. Okay, so now we gotta decide: is he pro-black social activist? Why do I want my pro-black social activist to go then play in the slave trade? So now the argument is consistently he should be able to work. Well, if this is slavery, I don't want Martin Luther King to go play for slave owners. But because people don't think, in my opinion, they don't think in complex ways, they just see he got fired because he was black, he should have a job. But if the argument is that this is a slave oppressed situation, I wouldn't want my pro-black leader in an oppressed situation.
I agree to that. Now, I do understand why they're like, oh, well, he deserves to work. Regardless of what that is, I think that the focus should have been on the NFL is purposely trying to keep him from being signed to other teams because they're racist or because whatever or because of their what is it, the collision or whatever the case may be. Yeah. I think that the focus perhaps should have been on that and not more like, oh, well, he should be back in the NFL. He should be working and he should. I mean, listen.
It's for that situation has so many. It's so convoluted.
Twists and turns.
It's so convoluted because black people, this is how minorities handle situations. We start to dissect so many parts of it that now the conversation gets far too fucked up that you're going to have this group that says that, well, this should happen. This group that says this should happen. Another group say this happened. When white people want to build a wall, all they saying is build a wall. That fucking simple. We want a wall.
Yeah.
Simple.
What is the depth to what you really want? Because the only depth I know is the depth of this wall. You have nothing else really worth talking about.
But when you're campaigning, you just need to say the wall. For Colin Kaepernick, it's so many different twists and turns because everybody wants something different. And what's even worse is we don't know what Colin Kaepernick wants. And I think because we are not well versed in having complex conversations and being able to break it down to different degrees is where an entity like the NFL can throw a distraction out there. Or the government can throw a distraction out there to take you away from the thought that you should be thinking or trying to figure
distraction.
out. But if I can get you to think about something else that happened in the NFL or an organization, then it's easy. It's easier to confuse the confused. Ooh.
The simple-minded, especially because
Bars.
we live in such a microwave. we live in such a microwave society that something can be super important, but you distract me with, again, that shiny little thing in front of my face, and now I don't even care about what it is that was important. Now I'm on to whatever is being spoken about. Something different.
Hey, I'm going to end on that note. I dropped the bar. I can't do no more. I can't.
Not for nothing. You really did drop a bar. You're like on a cipher all on your own.
Yeah, you know I do. Little light work, you know what I mean? Now that was kind of heavy work. That was kind of a little heavy work. You know what I mean? Every now and again I can do a little something.
Don't be flexing on them like that.
You know what I mean? Weird flex, but okay.
Okay. Some girls like words.
All right, so tell people how to find you. I don't know if I even introduced you. Zio from the Zio and Rome podcast.
You did. You introduced me. You can find Zio and Rome podcast on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Zio and Rome. You can actually also find our personal pages. Rome is Mother Rome, MOTHAROME. And I am Pay Me No Mind, separated by periods. Pay, period, me, period, no, period, mind. Nothing to see here.
It's plenty of
And thank you, Ro, for having us.
Hey, first of all, it's plenty to see. Go on, check it out. It's plenty.
Hey, there's plenty to see. I got a little diet thirst traps up there. You know what I'm saying?
Little light thirst. You need that good cup of orange juice you get from fucking Pancake Factory, whatever that shit called. IHOP. That
Pulp, no pulp, whatever you want.
Yeah, you know, it's a little something in there to quench your thirst if you got some. Kind of Famous Pod, Facebook.com/Kind of Famous Pod. On Facebook, kindoffamouspod.com. You can find me on Twitter now at Ro is Famous. Real easy. ROWE is famous. And we'll keep the conversation going. We got a lot of links we got to drop into this joint because she done hit us with alien talk. Yeah, I gotta see it. I'm about to send you that. All right, until next. Well, this is a bonus episode, so I really don't know what I'm gonna do at the end of this. But until next time, tell your mom I said hi.
Bye. So, in light of you being kind of famous,
Why the hell I'm kind of famous? Who the hell she know?